I'm Timothy, and I'm working on a Bitcoin wallet called Payla. And it's supposed to be for paying your friends or among friends, kind of like Venmo here in the US. But you can still use it for regular Bitcoin purchases, so it's backward compatible. But it's mainly used for paying friends. It's an iOS app, open source. Let's see. The goal here is to make payments among friends as frictionless as possible and make the whole experience kind of seamless, but also very familiar. So as you can see here, this looks like a regular chat app, kind of like in Instagram you have it, Messenger, it's also like Telegram. This looks almost exactly the same, except that instead of sending text messages, you're sending Bitcoin, amounts of Bitcoin. And you can also choose an emoji, which I love. And I think you can tell any story with an emoji, and especially with payments. But I do have a feeling that most of my friends would probably use the plant emoji. But yeah, let's move on. I will show you what I mean with familiar. So this is a screenshot. So this is already implemented. What you see previously is not really finished yet, but it will soon be. You can create a new wallet, or you can recover an existing. You can recover an existing BIP49 wallet, I think it is, which is SegWit. So it's basically BIP44, which is a kind of normal standard, but with SegWit instead. So it's only SegWit enabled. Here you can see the recovery key. So this is a screen after you created a wallet. You have to reveal the recovery key, because if you're on the train or whatever, you don't want someone to see it. There's also the option to store it in iCloud. And that's something I would probably use myself. This app is not meant to store a huge amount of money. It's kind of small amounts. And I think for most people, most of my friends, at least, and family, they would be more secure, or this recovery key would be more secure in iCloud. And my iCloud is protected with two-factor authentication and stuff like that. And most of my friends doesn't even have a safe. So having a paper laying around is not very good. But you can reveal it. And you see your recovery key here, 12 words. And when you have written them down, you just press the yellow button. You have to enter all 12, not only a few, because what if you've got one word incorrectly, and that's kind of, you can brute force it, but it's not very nice. So you have to enter all of them, but this is one-time setup, so it's not that much of a hassle. Each correct word will be green. If it's incorrect, it's red. It automatically skips to the next input if it's correct. And once you've entered all of them correct, it's green, and you can press the confirm button there. Then you see this screen. This is to educate the user that I don't have any access to the funds. If they lose their phone, they need this recovery key. And some terms and conditions so I don't get sued. I don't expect everyone to read this, but I think it's good to have, and especially for legal reasons. Then you see this screen. So this is not really finished yet, but this is something I'm working on. And this looks like any other chat screen, basically. You have your contacts here. The latest one up there, that's my girlfriend. So I sent her some money for a rose, and I had a rose emoji there. Not very romantic, but better than nothing. That's my friend. I haven't really read his payment there yet, so it's red and bold. And he paid me for sushi. And as you can see here, it's kind of like similar to Snapchat and also other like Telegram and Messenger. You can see this arrow. So down arrow is and blue is received, yellow and up is sent. If it's not filled, it means it's not confirmed yet. So it's been sent, but it's not confirmed. If it's filled, it's confirmed. Kind of like when you send on the Messenger, you can get like this circles and stuff that gets filled. And you can see that it was 23 minutes ago. And so if you swipe to the left or right, I don't know. If you swipe to that side, you will see the camera, kind of like Snapchat and Messenger, Instagram. Swipe to the other side, you will get the receive screen. I won't show you that today. This is how it looks like when you click on one of these conversations or transaction conversations history. I don't know. You can see that Jack, which is my twin brother, by the way, he sent me for a ticket and he sent me for a burger there, and that was yesterday. Today I sent him for a beer, and you can, if you press down here, instead of the message, it will be like a long number pad. You can send enter the amount, you can choose the denomination, and there is an emoji, which is optional. Another problem I want to solve with this app is this problem. Not exactly, but kind of. The fear of sending to an incorrect address, or even worse, maybe sending to an correct address, but maybe it turns out that Jack doesn't have my app anymore. He's like, yeah, I never used this, so I deleted it. Or I lost it, I don't know where it is. And then I said, but yeah, I sent you for that beer. Yeah, well, I don't know. So my problem to this, or not problem, my solution to this would be to sign the transaction as normal, send it over an end-to-end encrypted chat, or just a chat channel, and then let the receiver basically submit it to the blockchain when they receive it. There's a little trust involved there. I have to flag the UTXOs as spent, even though they're not spent, and have a timeout there. And then the receiving wallet, when they open it up, it will verify that the address is actually correct, that the address is inside their wallet, and then submit it to the blockchain. So there might be a little window there, but that's what I think is a good experience. I don't think you need to use the blockchain for everything, especially not for like submitting to the blockchain a transaction that I haven't verified is actually to the right recipient, and then the other receiver will wait and scan the blockchain or mempool to see that it was submitted. I think it could be nice in that sense. And yeah, so Lightning will come eventually. It won't be there in the first versions. The first version I'm working on now is a regular Bitcoin wallet. So it's you can just see your transactions, you can send and receive, and all the recovery stuff you saw there. But there won't be any conversations or contacts. That's step 2. So alpha is a normal Bitcoin wallet on testnet. Step 2 will be to add these conversations or chats or whatever. And once that's done, I will add Lightning, but that's still kind of far away, I would say. I don't want the user to be able or have to have their own node. The option should be there, but it shouldn't be a requirement. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that, how to host a node for them, but still not own the private keys. The private keys should always be in the wallet and not be exposed in any way. And that's kind of tricky, but I've been looking into or thinking about using the C Lightning HSM, I think it's called. That's Christian talked about the other day, that you can basically use hardware wallets or phone wallets to sign with your private key. And then maybe use watchtowers to make sure that no one cheats you. It's still very much work in progress, so it's still kind of far away, I would say. Yeah, so you can go to Payla.app if you want to sign up for the beta, or just go to GitHub and look at the source code. You can follow me on Payla app on Twitter, or Timothy EJ, also on Twitter. I'm posting updates there sometimes. Yeah, let's see, is there anything else I want to talk about? I think that's it actually. Oops, yeah. Any questions? Questions? Yeah?
Have you thought about like going for more of a privacy angle, given that like people who get to by a crypto wallet, like maybe they want their conversations to be encrypted with each other's keys or something like that?
I mean, I think privacy should always be obvious, just like security. But sometimes you have to, you know, there's always a limitation, and it's not something I'm focusing on, like kind of like Samurai Wallet. But I do want a minimum privacy. So the point is that the key is always in the phone. The public key also never leaves. The addresses though leaves because I need to send them to a server to find transactions related to those addresses. And that's a privacy concern. But you can also, with this app, and that's already done, you can host your own node. So if you really, really want to have high privacy, you can just host your own node, and it's open source. When it comes to the actual messages being sent, that would be end-to-end encrypted. And that's not something I've figured out yet. So that's the second step. But I will be very secure and private. I also want push notifications. So that's also like a privacy concern, because someone who triggers the push notification needs to know that there is something happening. And that's something I want to do with also this chat protocol. I'm looking into like Whisper and Bitmessage, but I might go with something way simpler to start with at least. And that's, if I have a central server that routes all the messages, I think I could then do just like it triggers an anonymous push notification. So it doesn't really know who sent it maybe and how much it was, but it knows that someone sent you something, and I could show that as a notification. But yeah, we'll see. It's still among friends. It's smaller amounts, so that's what I'm going for. I actually wanted to tell about another thing. Like Jack yesterday said that getting Bitcoin in general is not a very nice experience. So even though this would be a very nice experience for my users, and they can get started with iCloud backup and everything, they don't have any Bitcoin. I don't have any friends that actually own any Bitcoin. But this is pretty nice, I think, because it's among friends. It's kind of like the Lightning Network, even though it isn't. So if I have Bitcoin, so I can tell my brother and my girlfriend to download this app, and whenever I owe them something, I will just send them some Bitcoin. And since they now have Bitcoin, they have funds to send me back whenever I pay for the beer or whatever. So it's kind of like when you open funding a channel. If you pay someone with Lightning Network, they can pay you back or through that channel. Here it's kind of like if I spread all my Bitcoin over my friends and they don't know how to spend it, because you can't really spend that much Bitcoin in Sweden, they will have at least Bitcoin to spend it back on me and among our friends. So I think that's a kind of cool thing, that I don't really need to tell my friends to buy Bitcoin. I will just send them to them. Yeah. Any other questions, by the way? No? What? Later. I have an iPhone, and I like iPhone. And so, but eventually, I don't have I'm not religious about what operating system my users would use. And a lot of people have Android. I think more people than iPhone, at least in the whole world. So yeah, Android will be there. And I've been creating this in React Native. But I use Face ID and other stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that need to be ported kind of to make it work on Android. And I also want to have the whole experience. This is kind of like it's designed for iOS. So to do it for Android, I need to make the experience feel like it's an Android app and not an iOS app on Android. Yeah, thank you.